Hi and welcome to another edition of Onside SA. Budgie is gallivanting overseas. He went to the North London Derby. He went and watched his beloved Preston North End. Gav, come in. Gav, thanks very much for coming in.
Good to be back. I hope he's chose some of the decent games to go and watch.
Yeah, he did the North London Derby, which wasn't decent, but at least he went and watched Preston take penalties. Steve and I'll talk about that in a moment. Steve, we've got Steve B coming on the line. He's in his Fulham studios in London. But let's first go to last one standing, a review of week number 4. Very interesting if I have a look at them. 85 went through, so we're really, after 4 weeks, it's coming down quickly.
They're getting cut very quickly. Bad week. Liverpool, I think, knocked most people out last week.
Are you still in?
I'm out. I went with Liverpool.
Are you still in?
I went out in week 3.
Okay.
I didn't even make week 4.
The ones that went through: United, City, Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal, and Chelsea. The big ones who went out were 113 on Brighton, 40 on Liverpool, and Crystal Palace 14 on West Ham. Ladies, there's only a few ladies left. Chanel Moodley, Tracy Anderson, Linda Nike, or is it Nike? I don't know. Ashley Berger, Kerry Varga, Marlene Laveau, Kim West, Kelly Potts, and Catherine Armstrong. So Catherine Armstrong's always seems to be involved.
Doing really well, but
they've got to the finals, but they've run second. Picks of the round: Ray Lovett went with Arsenal. The North London Derby went through. Melly Sewell, Connor McNeil, Linda Nike went through on Newcastle. Walter Luthi as well, the boy from Switzerland. So this week coming up, only 85 left. Wow.
I think most of the guys have used their top teams.
The big guns.
So they're going to start now thinning their bets out and see who's left.
Yeah. Right, we got Steve. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Morning, Steve. Just want to look at the Champions League started and just go through what you think with the games that took place, especially with regard to the English sides. What did you think?
Well, I mean, on Tuesday, Liverpool they played an early game, and they were under a bit of pressure to start because they were playing on an artificial surface. But once they got the hang of it, they were comfortable, played really well, deserved to win by more, had a couple disallowed. I was very impressed with the way that they played.
Yeah,
and obviously the opposition wasn't as strong, but it was a good performance. Yeah. And then Liverpool, Liverpool went a goal down early, but after that, it was one-way traffic. I thought they were absolutely superb. They put this defeat behind them, and in the end, 3-1, but it could have been 5 or 6. And then obviously last night we had a different game altogether. Inter Milan were very, very solid at the back. They gave City very little room. City missed a couple of really good chances second half, but Milan looked great on the counter attack and could have embarrassed City. So there's 8 games in this league, so I'm sure they'll both probably be happy with the point in the end.
What did you think, Gav?
I think Liverpool really stepped up the game. On the weekend they weren't too clever.
Yeah.
They got into this game. They really put their minds to it. They went a goal down early.
2 free headers in the box. You know.
Yeah,
they're 2 big centre-halves got goals. But
the Italians are very good at defending. But I'm not convinced with that AC Milan team. The Inter team, you can see they were well organised. They're well drilled. 2 big centre-halves. The Inter Milan team, very good side. City, I think overall should have won the game.
Yeah.
But I think the Milan side is really going to give teams a hard time.
Steve, while we're just touching on it, Harry Kane's at it again.
She had 4 goals, 3 penalties, but even so, an exceptional performance. And it's a big win. They were expected to win. I mean, at one point it was close. Zagreb pulled a couple back. It was 3-2, but then Munich took over. So big start for them. They normally win their opening game.
Yeah, I watched the games. You and I haven't got much to talk about. You got beaten on penalties, and we should have got beat.
It was a British record. It was an English record for a penalty shootout, professional teams. And you think that there were 34 penalties taken, and only 3 missed, which is pretty. It was hard watch. But good luck to Preston. We rotated 11 players, but still should have won comfortably. Penalty shootouts and lottery, and Preston deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Yeah, I watched the United game, Steve, and I see he put out quite a strong side.
Yeah.
Looks like he wants to win a tournament, and that's the only trophy he can win.
Yeah.
But yeah, good performance from United. Good to see Rashford back on the score sheet.
Yeah, they played Barnsley. They weren't too good. I'm just looking at this line here. Atalanta, Arsenal. When did they play?
Yeah, they're playing tonight.
Tonight. It's definitely tonight. What do you think, Steve?
Atalanta not having the best start this season compared to how they were last, but they're going to be hard to beat. I think, especially Arsenal without Odegaard, I think that they'll probably be happy to come away with a draw there.
All right, let's talk Premiership preview. We've got them before we do the Championship. Get straight into it, Steve. And our sheets should come up. It's starting off, I think, with West Ham, if my sheets... Yeah, West Ham, Chelsea. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I saw Southampton last week. I was not overly impressed. I was sort of slightly disappointed with them, and actually they got out a last-minute equaliser. I think Chelsea should be strong. It's a long-time game. Always a bit feisty between these two, but I fancy Chelsea of the two.
Yeah, the second away game in a row. Interesting. Straight on to Villa. Villa have come back from midweek. Hell of a game. Wolves, they were beat last night by Brighton. What do you think? Villa play well. They're 6-10.
Yeah, Villa did play. I mean, they were 2 down to Everton last weekend. Came back with 3 goals and deserved in the second half, and had a big win in Europe this week. Wolves, I thought, were very unlucky against Newcastle. They played well till the Newcastle equaliser, and then got punched with another good goal. I think he's got a decent side there, Gary. I think they'll make it tough, but for me, Villa should be favourites.
Now, your beloved Fulham, they're at home. They're 18-10. Newcastle are 14-10.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Look, very interestingly, Newcastle are having their best start to a Premier League season since Keegan was there, yet they're not actually playing that well. And Eddie Howe admits they're not playing that well, yet they've won 3 and drawn 1 of their 4. They seem to, and if they're sort of winning games without playing well, then they're probably likely to have a good season. This is a tough game for us. Our big problem at the moment is that we're not scoring when we're on top, and I think that we're letting teams off the hook and then concede late goals. I think if we got a point out of this, probably wouldn't be a bad result.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Steve, it looks like a draw written all over this game. I think
so.
Fulham tough to beat at home, but Newcastle not playing well.
Newcastle, Spurs were all over them. The next team all over them. You're right. They're not playing well, but they got the points in the bag. Leicester City, Everton. Has that got draw written all over it?
Well, it could do. I mean, Everton, you don't know what's happening there. I mean, in their last 2 league games, they've been 2-0 up in both games and ended up losing. The other night, they were 1-0 up in the Carabao Cup and ended up losing on penalties. Leicester had a hard-fought draw recently, but I've got a feeling that Everton might they get ahead this time. I think they're going to be determined to hold on to it, and I just got this sneaking suspicion that Everton might at least hold them, if not pinch a win.
Okay.
Steve, I think the best bet there would be
both
teams
sides
to score.
Yeah, me too. Both sides to score. But then, are you going to take 3-10 Liverpool? Bournemouth are not the worst side in the league.
Liverpool must be smarting after that Forest defeat. They didn't see it coming. They had, obviously, as we saw, they had a great run out in Milan. I think that they'll come back strong, and I think they'll beat Bournemouth. They can't afford to slip up again. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves slipping behind City. So I think Liverpool will bounce back and put Bournemouth to the sword.
Interesting. I was speaking to a Southampton supporter yesterday at the races, and he said to me, when they were 0-0 with United, they got a penalty. And he said Archer took it. Archer hasn't scored a penalty. He's played 180 games of football. There's a guy on the team who's taken 7 penalties, and he scored all 7. And they gave the ball to Archer. He said, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know that stat.
They try and get some of these players a bit of confidence to get them to get a goal.
It cost them
dearly. Yeah.
Well, at home, they got Ipswich Town. What do you see here, Steve?
Yeah, I think it'll be a tricky game. Look, Southampton haven't played that badly in some of the games, but they've lost all 4 and have yet to score. Ipswich have come back with a couple of fighting draws, and that was a big point they got at Brighton last week. Yeah. I think those odds maybe a little bit generous to Southampton. I think Ipswich could at least hold them.
Yeah. My beloved Spurs are at home. They don't play badly at home, but they don't create enough chances. I'm pleased he threw 8 new faces out yesterday, and I was very impressed with Bergfall and Archie Gray. They're good young players. And then the boys who came on, Spence did a good job. He looked like he wanted to play. And Brentford are not a bad side. I'm hoping for a win, but I think the draw might be the best call here.
Yeah, I mean, Brentford, obviously gave City a bit of a shot last week, but they've struggled. They're going to struggle up front just for a little while, because having sold Tony, Thiago, their big money signing, is out injured, and Visser, who's the main forward, has got injured as well. So they might put themselves a little bit lightweight up front.
We might beat them.
I think Tottenham should win this, but Brentford never make it easy. But Tottenham have just got to apply themselves and keep the pressure up. And I think they should win, but it won't. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game.
Yeah, I think Tottenham will win this game, win it quite comfortably. I think they'll win 2-0.
Especially with the injuries on the other side, But, okay, let's move on. I hope my beloved win. Crystal Palace, they drew 2-2 at home with Leicester. They've got the Man United. The Man United have won their last 2 games. Against Southampton, it was a bit fortuitous. The Barnsley is nothing to talk about. But going to Crystal Palace will be a good test for them.
Yeah, I mean, last season, towards the end of the season, this was a humiliation for United. Crystal Palace absolutely ripped them to shreds. I don't think that will be the case this year. Palace are stuttering just a little bit. They were 2 down to Leicester and came back. They sneaked to win at QPR the other night. I think United, Ten Hag has got to get a tune out of these players in the league. I think I can see why they're favourites. I think it will be close, but I fancy United to just pinch it.
Gav, what do you think?
Just looking at the betting, I think they're basing the betting based on last year's results of 4-0. I think it's a different United team. I know they were slow starters last week, but I think they'll win this game.
Palace not a bad team, eh? Whoa, they're not a bad team, Palace. Write them off. Okay, but let's go on. Brighton having a very good start to the season. 8-10 to beat Forest, to pull that surprise. Steve?
Yeah, I think this. Well, look, Brighton. Everyone expected them to beat Ipswich, and they didn't. They were held. And again, they're playing another team who they would expect to beat. But Forest have had a decent start. They're unbeaten this season, and obviously that was a real shock win. They hadn't won at Anfield for 40 odd years. I think Brighton are favourites, but Forest are making themselves a hard team to beat at the moment.
Steve, who's the boss at Brighton now?
Yeah, they've got. He's a young guy. He's a young.
Yeah, a young man. I don't know.
Hertzler is a young German, and he seems to sort of getting them sort of playing quite well. But I think he was disappointed with last week's result. But they've had a good start. They're unbeaten, 2 wins, 2 draws. I think that they'll win this, but Forest will make it close. I think
each week we say that Forest, they score goals. So if they're going to get one, you're going to have to get 2. So it's not going to be an easy game.
Not going to be easy. They have a go, Forest.
But
Brighton have played well. They did draw with Arsenal, but Arsenal had a player sent off. Okay, let's look at Man City, Arsenal. This is the game of the weekend. They won at home. Man City, they beat Brentford 2-1. Arsenal won away from home, beating Spurs 1-0. This looks an interesting game. Steve, how do you read it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Declan Rice should be back from his ban, but Odegaard, evidently, I saw last night, Arteta says he doesn't think he'll be out for months, but it's certainly going to be weeks. He's got ligament damage. Yes. So I think they're going to miss him. Look, this is a huge game. Arsenal can't afford to lose this because they could end up being 5 points behind. On the other hand, if they look at the way that Inter Milan played last night, they could think, look, a draw's not the worst result. Let's pack the defence. Let's just keep them at bay, and then try and catch them on the break. City, in the past, they've won this game. Held by them last year, I believe, but before that, they'd beaten them comfortably. I think this is, it's early in the season for what to be played towards. You can say it's a championship decider. I think City will win, but I think it's going to be close. Must we take the 8-10? When you bear in mind, Arsenal played Spurs. Spurs restricted them from chances. They never had many chances, and they got a winner. Not that we created that many chances, but we had a lot of possession. But I just thought Arsenal didn't create that much, and they're not going to get that many chances against this team.
I think Arsenal's Arteta is very astute in how he wants to play his games. He'll pick up 1 point instead of losing the game. So I think he's going to go to City and he's going to try and play for that point like he did last year. He doesn't want to give them any ground to get away from him, so he'd rather give them the point.
Stevie, your favourite area, being a Fulham supporter, the Championship. Let's have a look there, Steve. Let's run through the pick. You at least know all the different.
It's a Friday night game. Stoke Hull City. Stoke have just changed their manager. They sacked their manager. They've just brought in a new manager who I'd not heard of before, Narcis Pelach. So he's going to take over the weekend. It'll be a tricky game against Hull. Neither have had a particularly good start to the season.
No.
And I think that the odds look a little bit generous for Stoke City. I think it could be closer than they show.
Okie dokie. Norwich against your brother's team, Watford.
Yeah, I mean, Norwich have not had the best start. Watford started okay, but they've obviously only just got 1 point for the last 2 games. I think that the odds are a little bit generous towards Norwich just because they're at home, and I can see Watford getting something there.
The London Derby, bring your own weapon, QPR Millwall.
Yeah, QPR obviously started off slow, lost their first game, unbeaten since, drawn a few. And I just think that they might just be a little bit too strong for Millwall. But again, as a London derby, always a bit feisty, you can see this being very, very tight as well.
The derby up north, Sunderland, Middlesbrough. Is it true? Did Plymouth beat Sunderland 3-2?
They did, so that was a real shock. I mean,
Shock.
Sunderland had not dropped a point, so the Wayne Rooney effect has obviously started. This will be a tight game. They normally are.
Yeah. How do you see it going? How do you see it going?
Interesting to see that. Yeah, I think Sunderland will be favourites, but again, I could see them cancelling each other out.
Okay. Bristol City, hot favourites to beat Oxford. Oxford have just beaten Stoke.
Yeah, I mean, Bristol City at home is strong, but Oxford have won 3 of their 5 games this year, all at home.
Yes.
And I think those are, there's a bit of value in that bet for Oxford because having won 3 out of their 5 games, they're a few points clear of Bristol City. So I think Bristol will be favourites, but I wouldn't write Oxford off.
Burnley are 1-2, 5-10 favourites to beat Portsmouth.
I think Portsmouth have started okay, but Burnley had a great win last week, and I think that they should be too strong at home for Portsmouth.
Yeah,
so I think those odds probably about right.
Yeah, they beat Leeds and Portsmouth lost to West Brom. Cardiff City, Leeds. Now, what is happening at Leeds? That is a question. Because
yeah, I mean, look, very up and down. They sort of drew the first 2, then they had 2 good wins, and then they lost at home to Burnley. So, look, they're going to be. I think they're going to be too strong for Cardiff. Cardiff are having a difficult season. Those odds are probably about right, and I expect Leeds to win there.
Coventry, who nearly beat Spurs last night, host Swansea.
Yeah, I would just wonder. They put a lot of effort into that Coventry. I like Swansea. They play nice football. I think those odds are. I think there's quite a bit of value in those Swansea odds.
Okay, so that's interesting. 37-10. Luton Town, they beat Millwall last time. Sheffield Wednesday drew at QPR.
I think that they needed that. They hadn't won this season. I think they should be too strong for Sheffield Wednesday. I think those odds are sort of quite fair.
Sheffield United are very short. They beat Hull City 2-0. They played Derby County, who beat Cardiff 4-1 Derby, 6-10 Sheffield.
I mean, Derby have won their 3 home games but lost both away. Sheffield United have sort of unbeaten, but they've only won 2 of their 5, and I think that they'll be favourites. Again, there's some value in that Derby bet, but I think should be too strong.
Any value in Plymouth Argyle 6.5-10 against the 4-10 West Brom?
I'd be surprised. I mean, obviously they'll be buoyed by that win at home to Sunderland, but West Brom are top of the table, had a good start, and I think that they'll continue and win that. And
then Preston, they drew with Middlesbrough away from home. Not a bad result. Blackburn thumped Bristol.
Yeah, Blackburn are having a really good season, even though they sold their star striker, Sammy Smodic. I think this will be a tough game for Preston. They obviously have come back a little bit stronger recently, but I think it's a Lancashire derby, be a good crowd, but I fancy Blackburn of the 2.
Steve, I'm fancying Blackburn.
You like Blackburn as well?
Blackburn to get promoted this year. What do you think?
I'd be, in the past they've started well but fallen away because they don't have the squad. But interestingly enough, having sold a couple of good players, that they're still up there. But time will tell. It's a long, hard season, 46 games, and they've fallen away in the last few seasons. So I think they could be challenging, but they're not, for me, not automatic.
When they're winning well. They're winning 3-0, 2-0, so they're putting the goals away. So that's giving me a bit of confidence for them to get promoted or at least get into the playoffs this year. And I think long-term bet, that'll be quite a nice bet to have.
Okay, if that's where you want to go with Blackburn. Stevie, what's more interesting is your best bet. You've got a good record with your best bet. What's it going to be?
Yeah, no pressure. I think I'm going to go for Luton as my best bet. I think that they've just turned the corner, and I think they should be too strong at home.
Your value bet?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Swansea. They play some nice football. I just wonder if West Brom will be a little bit sort of disappointed after that defeat last night, and I think Swansea will be fresh, may go up there and get a result.
Okay, well, we haven't got Stevie's best bets. Gav, anything you think is a good thing?
I think Luton's a very good bet. I think they started a little bit, but they're far too good for them.
And a value bet?
Value bet for me is Spurs.
Good man. Okay, he's keeping it tidy. Stevie, once again, thanks very, very much for your input. We'll stay in touch.
Talk to you next week.
Bye, Gav. Cheers. Bye-bye. Right, Gav, let's go local. You know, the PSL fixtures, you know, we've had teams playing in the CAF Cup. So this league, if some teams get 3 games in, some teams don't get a game in.
It's a higgledy-piggledy start. I think Betway put a lot of money into the PSL this year. And I think they're off to a good start. But like you say, the fixtures never seem to tie up. Teams are playing ahead of the other teams. But we had a good start with Golden Arrows and Maruma Gallants.
What do you think? Maruma Gallants lost 2-1 to Chiefs. Golden Arrows a favourite though.
Golden Arrows had a good win. They went to Cape Town and they beat Stellenbosch 2-0, a result that no one saw coming.
Yeah, that's right.
So, very good result for them, so they can build on it. But first
Golden Arrows.
Golden Arrows in the green and gold. But
what
them.
ground do they play out of that? Is it not Chatsworth or something?
I think they're playing out in KwaZulu outside.
Have you played there?
No, I haven't played. I've played maybe one friendly game.
I never played at KwaZulu.
Big field. It was a very big field, that's all I remember. Very big field.
Okay, let's go to the second game. Magesi FC playing Polokwane. Now, Polokwane beat Amazulu.
This is Clinton Larson's team that got promoted, Magesi. So Clinton Larson's taken him.
He's a good job,
He's the new coach. He's been around, Clinton. He's been around for a little while. Done his job.
Was he around when you won the league with Gordon?
Yeah, he was our little mini-me on the right
That's right. He was there. So you know him well?
I know Clinton very well.
Good guy?
Yeah, very nice guy. Very well known in the community as well.
Yeah, he's always been involved in football. He
loves his football.
He
Absolutely loves his football.
Gordon took that team that won the league, eh?
Yeah, Gordon took it.
Mark Davies, was he there?
We won the league by 10 points.
Yeah, comfortable.
And people were like so shocked when I keep telling them.
Out of Chatsworth?
Out of Chatsworth. We had the 3rd biggest crowd for the whole year.
And the stadium was great in those days?
One of the best playing surfaces to play on.
Lovely,
some of the grounds at Joby, as you know, the rock hard and the firm. The ball rolls away from in Chatsworth. We always watered it. That was the secret. Gordon always used to water the pitch. Some of the guys never came with the studs. But we had a very good side.
So Magesi, what are they like? They got a squeak here?
Well, I didn't get to see any of them play yet. But they did lose 1-0 to Sekhukhune last night.
Okay.
Polokwane beat Amazulu, and I think they're a very good side too.
Yeah, very good side.
They're very hard to beat up that side.
Supersport play Royal AM. Royal AM drew 1-1 with Cape Town City.
Supersport, they're flattered to see. I don't know, Gavin needs
hot and cold.
Yeah, very hot and cold. They were talking about, is it a derby with Sundowns? Because, they're both from Polokwane area. But no, not for me. I can't have
Gav's still in charge?
He's still in charge, still running the team.
He's won the league. He's a top coach.
He's been around for a while now. He knows the game.
He knows the game.
But their team just seems to lack a little bit of firepower.
Yeah. Then Chipper United, Richards Bay, who beat TS Galaxy 1-0.
Well, Chipper were a little bit unlucky last night. They went 1-0 up against Pirates.
Yes.
And then Pirates came back and scored a win in the last couple of seconds of the game. But Pirates for me this year, I think will run Sundowns close. I think Sundowns are not going to have it all their own way. So Pirates, they needed to get a good start, and they scored late in the game, but they got the result. That's the main thing. But they put the ball. And Richards Bay, they won their first game, and they also a tough team to beat.
Always.
These teams that get promoted, they always seem to fire up the first 10, 12
new
games.
broom sweeps clean.
And then the season kicks in, and the body starts taking its toll.
You've got to have a squad, whichever league you're in.
Have to have
the
a
top
squad.
teams are now going to CAF and things like that. But interesting that you say Pirates are going to give Sundowns a run this year.
Yeah, definitely. For me, definitely going to get them a run for their money. I think they've been building for the last 2-3 years. Chiefs, on the other hand, have spent a lot of money buying players. Everybody was telling me that they thought they had won the league when they won their first game. Try and get some firepower back into the squad, some good players. But I'm not convinced with Chiefs yet, so let's see how they go.
Let's see a bit more. Right, Budgie normally at this stage gives us his bets. If he sent his bets out, I have got his best bets. But here are his bets. I won't run through all the names. You can read them out there. He always spends his 2-1-6, but he's big on Golden Arrows and Everton. So that's the Soccer 6. That's the first one. The second one is another 2-1-6 Budgie's betting. He's gone Super Sport and Eintracht Frankfurt.
The German boys.
The German boys, those are his two bankers. Have a look at that. He's loaded up Palace Man United and he's loaded up Juventus Napoli. Those are his two sixes. And then the 10. Now the 10 here, I'll just give you his bankers as we go through. He's gone for Aston Villa to win again at home. And Everton, he's gone for Everton. Let's get before they change screens. Do you agree with him, Leicester, Everton's favour?
I think this is a draw written all over it, Paul. Everton really struggling. They've taken the lead in both games, 2-0 and lost. So they're conceding goals, you know. And Leicester fighting.
All right, Bud just going for Everton. Have to get it right at some stage. Let's look at the other page. Is this the other page? Yes, he's banked Liverpool, he's banked Super Sport, and the others he's gone each way.
I think he's looking for a result in the Brentford Spurs game 1-2-3
yeah.
because he knows people will bank a Spurs.
I'm going to have a word with him. All right, that's his 10, 288 Rand. And then we go to the 13. And again, his bankers, he's Aston Villa and Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are very short. And he's also sticking with his Everton. He's sticking with Everton. He's brave, and he's 13. Gavin, I think it's tighter than an Everton win. The other page, he's got a lot of bankers here. Bristol City, who are 7-10. Leeds United, who are coming back with that defeat. And then the other bankers, Luton at home, Sheffield at home, West Brom at home. Anything you don't like there, Gav?
There's quite a few I don't like, but it would cost a lot more.
Yeah, that's right.
He's taking a chance on a few of them, which you have to on the Soccer 13 now. Otherwise, it becomes quite expensive.
2-1-6. And now the best part for me is Budgie's best bets. Now here, he's gone Brentford +1. I think he's drinking too much out at Preston. Man City to win and over 2.5 total goals. That's feasible. And Southampton, Ipswich Town, and Leicester City and Everton over 2.5 goals. So let me get this right. Okay, so over 2.5 goals is going to be Man City game, Southampton, and Leicester Everton. Okay, he's hoping the bulk.
He's saying Man City will win the game and there'll be 2.5 goals in the game.
I think so.
Arsenal will close up shop.
He's got the Brentford one wrong. Okay, let's go team goals only. Aston Villa, Everton, Ipswich, Man City, all of those teams to score more than 1 goal. So 2 goals for Aston Villa at home, Everton away, Ipswich and Man City. That's big good odds, 3,300 to 200.
Very good odds.
Now he's going Championship, Gav. The Championship treble is Luton Town to win, I can live with that. West Brom to win, I can live with that. And both teams to score, that's for enough. Plus over 2.5 total goals, Preston and Blackburn. Yeah, it's got a chance, that bet.
You've got a chance. You've got a chance in that bet, yeah.
Both teams to score. The Derby up north, Sunderland Middlesbrough, Norwich Watford, the London Derby QPR Millwall, Preston Blackburn Rovers. Okay, both teams to score. Now his Spanish omelette. This is always tough. Getafe and Atletico Madrid to win. Both teams to score, yes. It's a tough call. Valencia Girona and Athletic Bilbao and Celta Vigo. So, okay, Budge knows that part of the world better than I do. Now the 6 or Nixer, Gav, you've got to agree with him or you've got to knock him. I'm putting the spotlight on you, Gav. Man City to win, I can live with.
Yep, can see them
Luton
winning.
Town are hot favourites. West Brom are hot favourites. Birmingham City, they got beaten at the Hollywood Derby, they call it. Those 2 movie moguls own the team. I think it's Wrexham and Birmingham.
That's right.
Or draw something. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. What do you think?
I think it's a good bet, just buying Birmingham maybe. But
that's the weak point.
The odds are very good. The odds are very good on this bet. Man City as well with Arsenal. I know Arsenal are going to come in and block it and pack it at the back like they did last year. But Jeff, he gets to the first game. then I think he's on the money.
Yeah, he's on the money. I'm with you. So there we go. Wonderful to have you in with us, Gav.
Thanks, Paul.
And don't forget, there's only 85 people or so left in the last one standing. Get your bets in for this week. We've only had 4 weeks and it's been decimated. But get them on. Until next time, stay on side.